Greetings, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about teamwork during isolation thanks to COVID-19. Maishu, arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the 7th year of the Leadership Japan series. And I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy committed to your success. President of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery and Japan Business Mastery. We are broadcasting around the world from Minato-ku in the center of Tokyo, the leadership capital of Japan. This podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan. Trust me, it is different here. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other organizations who host podcasts, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here's our daily lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesday, the Presentation Japan series. Every second Tuesday, the Business Tatsujin no Oshie Show. Wednesday, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. Every second Thursday, the Business Kuro Podcasto. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Before we get going, today's handy Japanese phrase is sonotori. This is where someone has said something and you want to agree with it. They're making a statement about something maybe something's going to happen, and you agree with it, and you say, sonotori, sonotori, sonotori. Just like that, exactly like that, just like that. That's it exactly, sonotori. That's right, sonotori, sonotori, sonotori. You are correct, sonotori, just like that, sonotori, sonotori. This is episode number 386, and we are talking about effective teamwork is no accident during COVID-19. Working from home can easily become working apart. Japan is a group-oriented society, and now the group has been flung to the winds while people are at home working in isolation. Ronin were masterless samurai, and for many Japanese white-collar workers, they can feel they've been tossed from the castle. Japan is a curious mixture of discipline, conscientiousness, and escapism. The staff's job description is of vital interest to employees because it defines the scope of responsibility. Their main interest is to avoid all mistakes and problems, and small targetism is definitely in vogue here. Collective responsibility is preferred. We're all responsible, so that no single individual is responsible. What many companies have found during COVID-19 is how low is the productivity of certain individuals. Unprotected by the group and having to stand on their own 2 feet, they stumble. Innovation, out-of-scope responsibility, flexibility are not hallmarks of the office worker in Japan. Plunging them into isolation doesn't trigger any changes for the better. They're in retreat now and hunkering down, trying to keep out of the limelight. Actually, we need them to step up to overcome a difficult business situation, but there is little appetite for that. The responsibility for this mess is with the leaders. When the ship is going down, we don't take a vote on the course of action. The leaders spring into action and start firing off orders and making sure the coordination is happening wherever it needs to happen. The energy involved with this effort is enormous and difficult to sustain across the many months of COVID-19. Nevertheless, it has to be done, and leaders have to step up to the plate and lead. Micromanagement is not the greatest tactical weapon in the leader's armory, but in times of crisis like now, it is a strong contribution to make. The key thing is to manage the culture. A British keep calm and carry on idea is not the recipe needed for leaders. Instead, over-communication and massive efforts in coordination are key. This is when you find out that your leaders are poor communicators. They have no idea how to engage the team and how to motivate others to want to succeed. Find out more when we come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also have custom in-house programs. We have them in our super safe classroom. We have them live online. We do them in both Japanese and English. Today's program is sponsored by, on the 27th of November, another in our professional leadership series, this one on vision, mission, values. On the 2nd of December, we will do a preview of the Dale Carnegie course, and on the 3rd and 4th of December, we'll have high impact presentation training. Now, our website is at enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. You can find out more about those programs there. You can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, we've got over 1,000 for you at Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We're releasing 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premiere business show in Japan. That's every Monday. Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays, we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders all the way from SMEs to the corporate captains of industry on the topic of leading in Japan. Every second Thursday, we release the Business Pro Television Show. Get my books, Japan Sales Mastery, that's the Bible for selling in Japan, and Japan Business Mastery. Both are available on Amazon. Welcome back. Regular meetings every day must be held to make sure everyone knows what is going on and so that people feel included. A common schedule of the key activities needs to be created across all departments, because otherwise coordination becomes a nightmare. Even with a common schedule, there will be struggles to keep it uniform and updated. This means super vigilance on the leader's part for divergence from what is supposed to be happening. The team never see that big picture to the same extent, so for them, the coordination issue is basically a curious irrelevancy. They're hunkering down to focus on their little bit in isolation, not trying to work as a one company unit. The leader must drive this hard to make sure it happens. Telling people one thing once never works. The drumbeat on the key points has to be constant, no matter how boring it is to keep relating them. Checking up on things that are supposed to be happening is annoying. People should be responsible to do their bit, but they are not. So make those phone calls and keep double checking. The only way to get things to work is to make it happen. In this teleworking environment, controls are loosened off, and the leader can be cut adrift from what is really going on. The antidote is concentrating on the 20% of things which represent the 80% of results. We cannot do everything, but we can make sure the most important things get done. If we take that Pareto principle even further, we know that 4% of inputs produces 64% of outputs. Watch that 4% like a hawk. If leaders communicate much more than normal, assemble a one truth document that tracks what is supposed to be happening, and make sure the integrity of this document is maintained, they will be on the right track. Additionally, identify the 4%, which represents the 64% of results, and keep everyone focused there. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, and tell your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. You can contact me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. Go to our website, enjapan.dalecarnegie.com. Until the next episode, take what you thought valuable, put into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners. So be one of them. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy, committed to your success here in Nippon.